Good morning. We got another episode of The Morning After for you today. Nick is in the studio, ladies and gentlemen of the Bookit Sports community. And if you didn't see on your social medias last night, Trent is going to be without a wiener today.
No dick.
So I better see it on my feed.
No dick.
No pause.
No dick.
But I better see it today on my feed, on a plate, removed from body.
Ew.
Sorry. That was a little graphic, dude. That was a little graphic. That was a little too graphic. Also, in conjunction with cutting wieners off in GTA, I don't know if you guys also saw it, but the Jets just won the Super Bowl. Just protected Aaron Rodgers. Just protected Aaron Rodgers. Knicks Jaguars.
Yeah.
How about that? Brian Thomas Jr.
Hey,
Bring
we'll
him
take
home.
it. We'll take it. We'll take it. It was not the cornerback, Terrion Arnold, like I said it was going to be at minus 185, taking a cornerback, but filled a need. Calvin Ridley.
A lot of plus chick
A lot of plus chick.
on the board.
We still need a cornerback, but that's fine. Got Brian Thomas Jr., impact wide receiver. We'll take it.
Literally massive. Massive. Quite literally massive. Leo, let's run the what in the world. I want to talk about some things.
All right, let's run it.
What in the world? The
What in
new
the
segment
world?
where now Mikey and Nick are going to talk about what happened last night in the news. What are the Atlanta Falcons doing?
Bro.
I just want to take a second here. What are they doing? What's their plan? You just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million deal. $160 is guaranteed. And you draft with a top 10 pick with, by the way, weapons on the board, defense on the board, a quarterback that's turning 24 years old. So let's say best case scenario, Kirk Cousins runs his 4 years out. That means that by Michael Penix's option year, he's going to be 28, 29 years old. And you draft him because you don't think you're going to be that bad again where you'll be able to draft in that position. So you need to plan for the future. What's your future? 3 years, 4 years with Michael Penix? God willing, he stays healthy. God willing, Kirk Cousins stays healthy. What is your plan there?
I mean,
That might be the worst pick of all time. Like, that might go down as the worst pick of all time by putting the cart in front of the horse. The reasoning, but the GM saying that we don't think we'll ever be in this draft position again with the guy that we brought in, Kirk Cousins. We wanted to make sure we planned for the future and drafted the oldest quarterback in the draft.
yeah, you
How
got to
does that
go
make
out.
any sense?
You got to go out and take a tackle there. Somebody to protect.
Anyone
Kirk
but the
Cousins,
position you
like,
just paid a
literally,
mega max to.
They got weapons all over the field. They do, but Bijan in year 2, you probably want to get him going a little bit more than they did in terms of that offensive line. That seemed like they should draft tackle or edge. Darnell Turner, that was the one that everyone expected them to take.
And that, by the way, what a phenomenal pick. We're sitting here going, Falcons are getting ready.
Yeah.
Michael Penix makes no sense. No sense.
No, that was not a good move at all by the Falcons. They were
Like, horrendous.
moose shit.
Moose shit.
Moose shit.
Literally moose shit. Someone said, what's the early morning play, fellas? Do we have an early morning play? We got a noon baseball game we'll talk about towards the end of the show.
Murphy?
We've also got a little bit of pitch cake on today as well. We're going to talk about towards the end of the show. But, I mean, just going back to the draft really quickly. For whatever reasons, Jets fans up in arms. I think Joe Douglas, great move. Trade back, pick up 2 more picks in the 4th and 5th round. You draft much needed support for Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people are like, we didn't draft a starter. That's fine. We drafted probably the second best O-lineman in the draft because we couldn't get our hands on Joe Alt. And apparently, we were trying to actively trade up to get Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze. And the Bears and Giants were both like, no, we're set.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the uproar. What was our problem last year? We had the worst offensive line in football. We addressed it in the offseason with some free agents. And now we brought in a phenomenal rookie that hadn't allowed a sack his entire college career in the Big Ten. Think about how good those D-lines in the Big Ten are. Not one sack in his college career.
Yeah, I think they would love to go on wide receiver. I think
course.
fans would love the sexy pick of wide receiver, to pair with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. Like they got some guys there that are weapons and give Aaron Rodgers more weapons is the thought process there. But you got to protect Aaron Rodgers too, who goes down in week 1 last year. So
yeah, I mean, give me
it's
a
not a
break.
sexy pick, but like it's a smart pick. It's the reason that the fans aren't the GM and the GM's the GM.
Of course,
like,
yeah, of course. Shout out the YouTube gang in chat. I see you.
What's up, Red Tube?
But I just wanted to say as well, I get it though. Last year drafting Will McDonald, this year drafting Olu. It's not fun when you don't draft a skill player.
No.
Like, it's really not fun. Like, you can get up for Brian Thomas as a Jags fan. You're like, oh my God, we got a brand new toy. So I get it. It is boring when you don't get to draft the sexy pick. No, we drafted Lucas Niang.
Lucas Niang. Hey, you might start left tackle.
But I get it, though. You know what I mean? Like, as a fan base, it's annoying when you don't get to draft that sexy pick. But I feel like when you're in a position where your team isn't drafting sexy picks, you're in a great spot. That's where you want to be.
Right.
If you're a team that needs to address those areas, you're not in the spot you want to be. And I saw another great point on Twitter last night. It's kind of funny. 6 of the 12 first-round picks were quarterbacks.
QBs.
First time that's ever happened. And I think it's hysterical because someone on Twitter was like, it's funny that all these shitty teams in the top half of the draft unload on the offensive weapons, leaving all the defensive guys for the playoff teams.
Yep.
And you wonder why all these teams win Super Bowls that are sitting at the end of the draft is because they get their pick of the best defensive players in the entire draft. And they already have everything else figured out. So I get, like, you have to address the offense and the defense, but it is funny that when you think about it from that way, like, these teams at the end of the draft are just like, please ravage each other over these quarterbacks and wide receivers while we clean up with D linemen and safeties and cornerbacks.
Yeah,
like, the Lions getting Terrion Arnold.
I mean,
that's phenomenal.
And the Eagles drafting the name escaped me, the cornerback out of Toledo. They get another impact guy. It's like, I mean, Xavier Worthy going to the Chiefs.
That is
Pat Mahomes getting a big weapon.
That is, dude. That might be the speediest. Like, that might be the speediest offense. You now have Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, and Xavier Worthy.
And still Pacheco at running back. Still Travis Kelce, even though he's aging out.
Like they're gonna do it again.
Yes,
I literally said that to my girlfriend. We were watching the end of the draft. The Chiefs picked, and it was like, and the Chiefs select Xavier Worthy. I went, they're gonna win it again. They're gonna win it again. You gave him Xavier Worthy, who, by the way, I think is an underrated route runner, but the kid can run 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, 165, a little bit smaller, but those are the guys of the Chiefs that Andy Reid likes to use in that offense. Guys. So it's not like, if he's not getting drilled, not getting hit, a ton and can stay healthy, again, a little bit undersized, but like when you run that fast, you're just going to be outrunning the guys anyway. No one's catching you.
And I think he's fast enough, by the way, where they're not going to have to do dump downs to him. No. He's not going to be the dump down guy.
I would love them to use him kind of like they did in like they used Deebo Samuel in San Francisco, where it's a lot of motion. They did a little bit of that with Tyreek Hill. It's not always the Chiefs' game plan because they got Pacheco, and usually it's get the ball to Kelce or go deep.
100%.
I mean, so.
And by the way, you go deep now. You got Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. Who do you address?
Xavier Worthy does have drop problems. So does Hollywood Brown. That's also been an issue for Chiefs wide receivers in the past. So that's the one thing to watch.
Pat Mahomes throwing them balls.
Yeah, that's true. They never had Pat Mahomes, but Hollywood Brown notably does drop wide open passes. Xavier Worthy, Lauren was saying last night, he's got some issues with that too. A.D. Mitchell, another Texas wide receiver in the draft. Look at him potentially to go to the Bills here at pick 33.
Well, I heard the Bills are trading back because now today they're trying to go after T. Higgins or Deebo Samuel.
That would make sense. Yeah, seeing one of those.
Which the Niners taking a wide receiver too is like, okay, someone's leaving. We thought it was going to be Ayuk. I'm starting to think it might be Deebo.
Yeah, that was the other probably big surprise, I guess, because a move hasn't been made yet to move one of those guys. So it's like,
and you draft a wide receiver, so the front office is like, well, one of them's going. And by the way, Xavier Leggett, like, what a fucking pick for them too.
Great pick,
perfect for their offense.
Assuming Carolina can continue to develop Bryce Young, who didn't look great as a rookie.
True.
Didn't have a whole lot of help in front of him on that offensive line either. But
he had zilch.
No, not a lot to work with there. You lose DJ Moore to the Bears, like. Speaking of which, the Bears, I mean, you're going to have to listen to Josh next week on Monday. Absolutely cream over what the fuck the Bears did last night, getting a Dunze and Caleb Williams. I mean.
Shout out Hollywood Lesson, 4.5 receptions.
Yeah,
sharpest play of my entire life. But I mean, if you want to talk about a team that completely did it, I mean, the Bears did it, dude. The Bears literally did it. They did everything they had to do this draft. They've completely rebuilt the offense. And I was having a conversation with my buddies at the bar last night. If Caleb Williams can't have success in his first year with this Bears team, he's not the guy. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Romo Dunze. Who's the running back now? I can't remember his name.
Running back is DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet.
And Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
If you can't make that offense work, after looking at what C.J. Stroud did in Houston with a lesser offense, with lesser weapons, if you can't make that offense work as football's messiah, What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, no, they got all the weapons all over the board. I mean, the Bears should be. That's a tough division, though. I mean, Jordan Love looking a little better last year.
Yep.
Vikings draft J.J. McCarthy.
I mean, we got to talk about that.
Get their QB.
We got to talk about that.
Didn't that DN go to Vikings too? Didn't they trade up and grab him? So
Shady Beeve lost his mind last night on that feed. I mean, if I am, let's go Red Tube Gang. If I am the Vikings, I'm beyond myself. I don't want JJ McCarthy. Why do you want JJ McCarthy?
Why not?
Dude, he's I read Beeve's tweet and I was like, dude, he's a handoff merchant in the Big Ten that has never shown you he can make a big throw. That's not underthrown.
But you got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and arguably the best tight end when healthy in the league, T.J. Hawkinson. So again, he's another guy that has weapons.
Can't get him the ball and read the defense. He's fucking loose.
We'll see. I mean,
and he's got no one to hand the ball off to.
Who of the 6 quarterbacks do you think is going to be a bust?
Bo Nix.
Sean Payton loved Bo Nix,
but not in a position to succeed. I literally said this at the bar last night. You draft Bo Nix, and I looked at my buddies. I go, "Who's he learning from in that cornerback room?"
True, that quarterback.
Who do you ask
room
questions to when you don't want to talk to the coach?
Yeah.
Who are you learning from? You asking Zach Wilson? Zach, what are you looking for here? He doesn't fucking know.
He has no idea.
He's gonna be like, I look for the open man.
Still seeing ghosts.
Like that's my only problem with the Bo Nix situation. Who is he learning from? He's got no one to learn from. No one. And as much as Sean Payton can coach you up, the value of veteranship in the NFL is, I think, over everything.
I'm kind of interested because Drew Brees, when he went to New Orleans, wasn't great, and Sean Payton, of course, made him into one of the best quarterbacks ever. So I'm kind of interested because I think I was always curious about that, about when Drew Lock left Denver, who I think has a real shot in New York. Now that New York didn't take a quarterback to unseat Daniel Jones, but Sean Payton with the right guy, like a young quarterback, I feel like he has a chance. You know, they were never going to have a chance with Russell Wilson in Denver. No. So Bo Nix, it's like
they were never going to have a chance with Zach Wilson, by the way.
You had to get somebody because like the Chargers weren't moving Justin Herbert. But
that's true. I thought it would have been so funny. I was talking about buddies outside. How funny it would have been if Harbaugh came in, just traded away Herbert and drafted his guy.
Yeah,
like he just wanted
the
him
Vikings
so bad.
And the Patriots both apparently inquired to the Chargers, and their GM said, "Yeah, no chance.
No chance. You don't get rid of Herbert." Also, just wanted to shout this out in the chat really quick. Miss Q and the RedTube YouTube gang said, saw the Combine video. Your cone drill is pretty impressive. For those of you that haven't, make sure you go to Bookit Sports YouTube, watch our NFL Combine video. I feel like I impressed some scouts.
I'll drop the link.
Yeah, drop a link if we could in chat. You guys make sure you go check that out after today's show. And, I mean, my cone drill, I'm not going to lie, it was rather impressive. I could have done more. I think I could have got sub 6 if I worked for like an hour.
It was average at best, but
what was that?
Oh, that's just the YouTube video playing.
Oh, okay.
In the
what
background.
the bop was that?
Yeah, YouTube.
Bo Nix never won a big game. I agree with that. The Dogfather in chat as well. I think you know what quarterback I think is going to surprise a lot of people?
Who's that?
And I don't know if it's a surprise because he got picked so early, but I really do think Jaden Daniel is going to be phenomenal in Washington.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be RG3 reincarnated. Like the kid the kid is a baller. And I feel like when you draft ballers, like they don't not ball at the next level. Like I consider CJ Stroud a baller. I consider RG3 a baller, Cam Newton a baller. Not that I'm putting him in their conversation yet, but Jaden Daniel's just a baller. And I feel like when you draft him in a system like that in Washington, like he's going to have to do everything. And I think that's what he's comfortable with at this point. Mm-hmm. Like you're not taking a guy from a situation like a Mac Jones in Alabama where everything's done for him. All he has to do is get the ball out. Like you're taking a guy that literally had to do everything at LSU. And now you're saying, okay, kind of got to do everything for us. That's not something he's foreign to. The defenses are going to be harder. He's going to get hit a little harder, but he's a baller, dude. And I think he's going to figure it out, and he's going to be the guy that you're going, wow, he's a firecracker.
I feel like LSU playing in the SEC, you got a little bit better, more reps under your belt against tougher competition.
Yes,
and it's like
sure.
of course, he had all the weapons there, right? He had Malik Neighbors, he had Brian Thomas Jr. So he's coming out of an offense that produces first-round wide receivers, goes to Washington. Who are his wide receivers there? Terry McLaurin.
I think Terry, but I think Terry gets a little bit of disrespect. I think he's a clear one.
Who's their number 2? They still have Jahan Dotson.
Jahan Dotson
is their number 2 technically, and then I think they have a third, Eckler at running back, who's like a little washed up. Tight end, I don't know.
You know what though? We'll take an Eckler where if the brain scrambled,
like
give it to him.
if he's healthy, I think that's always the big question mark. Is like especially with these young guys, like can they stay healthy?
Yep.
Because that's when. It's a different league. Making that transition from college to pro is way different than high school to college, where it's like
huge jump.
That's just like a lot of first round quarterbacks oftentimes end up being busts, and You get better value in the later rounds. You get better value with a guy sitting behind somebody to play for, until they play 2 years later down the line.
I'll tell you what. I'm not even excited for the Jets next 2 years.
Yeah.
If we draft Jordan Travis or Spencer Rattler, I'm excited for the Jets' future when I'm in my 30s.
That's like a Jordan Love situation.
Because you're telling me we get a Spencer Rattler or a Jordan Travis.
Under Rodgers.
And Tyrod Taylor, by the way.
Yeah.
So you have no pressure of playing.
Right.
It's like really learn and immerse yourself
into
the franchise, into the organization, into the game. Watch the tape with two guys that, by the way, have done it at the highest level. Tyrod Taylor, if he doesn't get hurt, I think he has a way better career than we're looking at as a backup.
Yeah.
In two positions, he was a starter and got his lung stabbed and then hurt. And I feel like he could have been great as well. But, I mean, you're telling me that if which we should, draft a rookie quarterback in the next 2 rounds, he gets to sit behind those two guys for 2-3 years. Dude, I'm excited for our future.
That's a nice little future. Yeah, Brian Robinson, RB1 there in Washington. Behind, so Eckler's number 2 technically there. But yeah, the Jets are going to be in a good position again. Like your team not getting a sexy pick. Everyone wants those sexy picks. Wants to have a Bears situation, but it's like you'd rather be in a Chief situation where you get.
Dude, I had my fill of sexy picks when we went Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, same draft.
Yeah,
but it's also like we went Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold. So I've been through the ringer. So it's like, just give me someone that's going to affect us in a positive way. Olu's going to do that. He's going to do that. And by the way, Aaron Rodgers in an interview said, great pick. That's all I want to see. Great pick. No one was talking about fucking Will McDonald last year. He didn't do shit this year. No. Hopefully, that's just first year jitters, get it out of the way. But, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it'll be it's an interesting time with the transition of the old quarterbacks, all these new quarterbacks coming in. That's a fun time to be a fan of the NFL, especially if your team is good or in a rebuilding situation. Because there's a lot of teams this year in very good situations, filling a couple holes. So I'm just hoping it's a little bit more competitive. The Chiefs, the rich get richer. But I think this year,
giving him that weapon is illegal.
The NFC North is going to be more fun to watch this year. The NFC South is going to be more fun to watch this year with Diggs going to Houston. So a lot of good football around the corner. Can't wait till NFL season.
Dude, and I feel like not a lot of surprises other than Michael Penix.
No.
Not surprises where I was like, what are you doing? Like Michael Penix was a what are you – I'm not even kidding. I think you probably could have got Michael Penix in the second, third round. I don't think he was going to be a first round.
Yeah, with the injury questions there. I mean, banged up knee, banged up shoulder. Older.
I don't know if he was going to be like a guy that you draft in the first round. I still think Denver would have taken Bo Nix over him.
Yeah.
I don't think Denver would have went with Michael Penix.
No, I don't think so. I think because they had that private workout with Bo Nix, so like Sean Payton, that seemed like the guy that he wanted regardless.
That's the most Sean Payton guy of all time.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about this because I tweeted about it. Definitely got bookmarked by a certain fan base. I could not be more excited that Drake May is in my division. He's going to be fucking moose shit. He sucked at UNC, and he's going to suck on the Patriots. The fact that you're giving me a UNC quarterback in a Patriot franchise that's now trying to rebrand and refigure everything out with 0 weapons, 0 line, I am licking chop.
Yeah,
when he says he sees ghosts against our defense. Like, I think people forget how good the Jets' defense was just because we had to watch Zach Wilson bot.
Right.
We were letting up 14 points a game.
Yeah.
Losing 7-14, 3-14. Like, we weren't a defense that was getting pieced up, and now you're telling me we get a rookie that I don't think is worth his salt playing for the Patriots, and we get to get him 2 times this year, every year, till he's done? Oh my God!
It's another fun situation there. Like, not a great situation in New England, but the coaching change. I'm really interested to see what they do this year because they don't have a whole. They don't really have a whole lot going on.
They got nothing.
They got their QB. By the way, watching Bill Belichick last night. I don't know if you caught Bill on Pat McAfee's draft special or whatever, talking about the story about Randy Moss. He had to call him 3 times because he hung up twice because he thought it was a joke to get him to get his physical, and when they traded for him, like he's such a. It's cool seeing Bill in like a different light, like a little bit more lighthearted. Telling those stories and things like that. But New England, I don't think anybody's sad that New England sucks now.
No one. Like, I'm not. Dude, and I saw in the chat as well, I almost forgot, we got Hassan Reddick coming off the edge, dude. Like, Drake May's going to shit himself.
Yeah.
He's going to literally shit. Quinnen Williams and Hassan Reddick might take his head off in GTA.
You think they got the chance to win the division? With Buffalo and Miami 100%. Still?
Buffalo's in shambles. I don't care what weapon they get. And I have 0 faith in Miami. 0.
Yeah.
I really think the division is ours to lose right now.
Yeah.
With what we added. Mike
you never really got
to
see Rodgers. So
now we get bolster the offensive line. We get a full year out of Rodgers, hopefully.
Yeah, May is the same
Mike,
as
you just
Zach
saw
Wilson.
the cone drill looking to get you on the bench for the rest of your life.
Dude.
Hey man, but at least I'm on the
A
roster.
wide receiver running good routes there. Chelly forgot to bring cleats. If you haven't watched the video, Chelly has slips a couple
my
times.
routes weren't bad.
You were kind of
People were sleeping on the toe tap on that second catch.
Shit. What was your 40 time? Do you remember? I don't remember. Definitely over. Everybody's over 5.
5 something, but I think I was in the 5.
Yeah, everyone was over 5.
I think maybe 5'8", something like that.
Not bad. Not bad.
But I mean, I also think, looking at the draft wholly, what team do you think improved the most outside of the Bears? That you're like, holy shit.
I mean,
I'm going to remove the Bears and the Chiefs because I think when you got a guy like Pat Mahomes, adding another wide receiver like Xavier Worthy, regardless of his dropping problems, that improves them 10x because it's just another guy that Pat Mahomes can just feed the ball to. Outside of the Bears and the Chiefs, what team do you think stepped into that draft and did a really great job of defining their future?
I mean, I think, like, again, not everyone loves J.J. McCarthy, but I think what the Vikings did, getting, like, who they think is their quarterback, and then getting the defensive end, trading back up to get the defensive end that Atlanta didn't take. So they did similar to what Houston did last year where they took C.J. Stroud, and then who was the Will Anderson? Yep. Is that who it was? The defensive end there in Houston? So you get a top defensive player, top offensive player in a division where Detroit obviously won last year and get a good player in Terrion Arnold at cornerback, fill a need there. Team. But, like, you got to make a move and you got to do something flashy when the Bears do something flashy in your own division. Packers got Jordan Love, who are still who's making that next step into the starting quarterback. So, to me, the Minnesota Vikings, I thought, again, it depends, right? Like, taking a quarterback that early, it's always a question mark. It's boom or bust. Either you get your guy and it works out, or you look like an idiot and you have a Jamarcus Russell situation. So, like, every other team, I think, went in and made good moves. Like, there wasn't, nothing like flashy. It was nothing unpredictable, right? The teams that needed tackles got protection on the offensive line. All the wide receivers went. I think the Giants making the decision to not go quarterback to J.J. McCarthy and take Malik Neighbors was A+ because.
By the way, though, you had no option. You paid Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's like
you're either in moose shit, but either way, you're more attractive now because if Daniel Jones doesn't work out again, you go, dude, we have probably a top 15 weapon in the NFL right now. If Malik Neighbors pans out the way that they're talking about him pre-draft, the way Cam Newton's talking about him pre-draft, like, this kid is supposed to be better than Odell was in New York. So if it all doesn't work out, you're at least sitting there going, you want to come play with Malik Neighbors? You want to come throw him the ball?
Is not a flashy move, but in free agency, and I know it's a homer take here, but they went and got Drew Lock in free agency for nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
To back up Daniel Jones, and he's not going to be the starter week 1. He's going to lose his bet against me. Daniel Jones will be that week 1 starter because they paid him all that money. But you get Malik Neighbors, you got Wan'Dale Robinson, you got Darren Waller, newly divorced, should be locked back in to take that step back up at tight end after the injuries last year. So, like, you got weapons there around him, and, like, Drew Lock is going to be ready. I'll tell you that. He's going to be ready to take that starting job. And with those weapons, I mean, he had 36 touchdowns 1 year at Mizzou, set the SEC record. So, like, he's still got an arm on him.
Nick, goddamn it.
He's got an arm on him. He's got a cannon on him.
That's where you lost me.
He's got a cannon on him. And I'm not saying that he can read an NFL defense. He does suck. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. But you made the right move.
No way we're talking about the touchdown to throw Mizzou.
I'm just saying they made the right move, and they didn't take J.J. McCarthy there, and they went and they took the right wide receiver, Daniel Jones. I hope he does well.
Nick, you just lost me.
In that division. It's a tough division.
My team is the Jags. I think you had Brian Thomas Jr. You gave Trevor Lawrence another weapon that I think, by the way, I agree with. I forget his name now. Steve Smith Sr., who I think is going to be better than Malik Neighbors, by the way. I think Brian Thomas is going to be better than Malik Neighbors.
Really? That's
if Steve Smith is saying it too, like, that's someone where already going into the draft, I was like, dude, Brian Thomas. Like, when you watch him on tape, I think Brian Thomas brings a little bit more than Malik Neighbors. But if Steve Smith is going, by the way, this kid is going to be better than Malik Neighbors, I think the Jags just got one and also added to an offense that now if Trevor Lawrence can't make it work and be a high-powered offense, you got to figure it out.
We'll see. That was a good move by Bulky getting the picks, I think, because, again, they trade back from 17 down to 23. They get the guy they were going to take at 17 anyway, 100%. So you get those picks. You get the third and the fourth rounder for next year. So they made definitely good moves. Good moves.
All right, before we move to the Slate Surfers, I just wanted
getting roasted for the Mizzou takes.
That was an insane take. Like, we're now 4 years.
Drew Lock is not even a good
NFL, and we're talking about his touchdowns at Mizzou. That was insane.
Hey man. Gotta support my guy.
Here's what I wanted to say really quickly before we move to.
If we trade up and get Kool-Aid, I would love that.
Before we move to Slate Surfers, just wanted to address two things really quick. Marvin Harrison looked like he entered the Twilight Zone. There's literally one team he didn't want to be on, and it was the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I made this joke. It would have been so funny if they cut to his green room and they were like, Marvin, no! And he was like trying to jump off the roof in GTA or something. But it was like, dude, he walked up that stage like a dead man walking to GTA. Like, it was like, dude, and he was like, I've never seen someone more unhappy to be drafting somewhere. Like, there is just
Brock Bowers too to the Raiders did not look happy.
Dude, Brock Bowers looked like he was just like
fuck.
Because I think he wanted to go to the Jets.
Yeah.
And I think looking back, that might be a pick that
they
might have
ruined
botched.
Michael Mayer last year, so I was like, fuck, dude.
I know, yeah.
You got Gardner Minshew throwing to you?
Total botch job.
Bro.
Total botch job. But Marvin Harrison looked like he was just completely in shambles. Like, that was one of the funniest cut to the green rooms I've ever seen in my life. He was just like, I don't think he smiled one time. And by the way, I wouldn't smile either. If Gannon was my coach and Kyler Murray was pitching on the feed, I wouldn't smile either if I was going to Arizona. Second thing I wanted to address, Joel Embiid is a fucking scumbag, and the Sixers should not have won Game 3. I don't know if you saw what he did.
50 burger.
But by the way,
with Bell's palsy.
that is the most deplorable thing I've seen out of a star player in my entire life watching sports. Because not only did you take Mitchell Robinson out of the game, you could have potentially ended his career. Because, by the way, when you start jumping and you're a big guy like that and you get your momentum stopped by someone that's bigger than you holding you down, the knees could go. The ankle went a little bit later in the game. But doing that as a star player while you're on the ground is the biggest crybaby Joel Embiid move I've ever seen in my entire life. And he's a fucking scumbag for it. And he knew what he was doing. And the fact that he wasn't ejected tells you, by the way, if they're in New York or in any other city other than Philly when he does that, he's fucking walking and suspended for a game. If Draymond Green does that, we're on Twitter and Instagram asking him to be banned from the league if Draymond Green does this. But just because it's Joel Embiid in Philadelphia against a player like Mitchell Robinson, who by all accounts, every casual in the world has no idea who that is, he gets a flagrant one and not ejected? If that happens in a regular season game, he's fucking ejected. To not eject that in a playoff game where they ended up taking the center out of the game should be fucking illegal. And then you got Nick Nurse sitting in the fucking post-game press conference who has bitched every game about calls on Joel Embiid. He's bitched every fucking game and has the gall to go, oh, I didn't see it yet. You fucking saw it. They showed it on the big screen. They reviewed it. I know you fucking saw it. Like, the way the Sixers are acting right now against the New York Knicks and the fact that he wasn't ejected for that is fucking disgusting from the NBA. Like, that was actually despicable, disgusting. And as a Knicks fan, I'm not even biased saying this as well. Like, just watching that on tape, and that's why I tweeted it, like, what a fucking scumbag move. Go win the game without being a dirty piece of shit. Like, go win the game without being a dirty piece of shit. It's so easy for this Sixers team to get over the hump and win a game if you just play well and you don't go to the line 21 times.
Doesn't have as many priors as Draymond, so that's why. But he's also a franchise.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I did see the video. It was bad. It was
if
bad.
Mitchell Robinson does that to him, Mitchell
bad.
Robinson's ejected.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what it's like. It's the star player. Like,
unbelievable.
So he's getting some slack there, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think it was it was dirty, and he probably should have gotten
unbelievably
tossed,
dirty.
But
in a playoff game too, like that, dude, get him out. Get him out.
There's always going to be the excuses there, and
but there's no, like, I don't care what he says. You cannot excuse what he did. There is nothing that he did. Alexander Meehan getting at me for a Knicks fan crying. But, I mean, there's just nothing that in that moment, even post-game, that Joel Embiid could have said that excuses that action. Oh, I'm trying to reach for the ball. No, you were deliberately trying to hurt Mitchell Robinson and pull him down and stop them from scoring a basket in the most scumbag way possible. So, Joel Embiid, fuck you. God, we're running out of time, but I want to talk about one more thing before we start some Slate. Did you see what LeBron said in his postgame?
Yes, I was going to bring that up. LeBron said
James is the biggest meme to ever touch the NBA because I'll tell you what, when LeBron James is up and he's winning, basketball is life. This is my life.
It's just
this is
basketball.
What I do. But when he's losing and everything's going against him, basketball just becomes a game. When you go down 3-0 to the Denver Nuggets, blowing another lead, and now you're back in LA with Anthony Davis to sit up there and be like, at the end of the day, it's just basketball, guys. Just basketball. I was fucking dying.
Dude, Kobe, Michael would never say that. They would be like,
if Michael Jordan went down 3-0, he wouldn't even show up for the press conference. He'd be in the gym taking
100% not.
He'd be in the gym taking jumpers.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant was literally up 3 when job's not done. And LeBron James and they go, it's just a game. We're just play basketball.
Just basketball where everyone fun.
Oh, now it's fun. So now it's fun, LeBron. When you're down 3-0, now it's fun.
By the way, D'Angelo Russell also not sitting in the huddle. 0 points last night. He is, and then rumors are circulating that he's going to leave the team after the end of the year.
They've just done my guys so dirty.
Bro.
I love D'Angelo Russell. The Nets should have never traded him.
It was just a terrible look. He's sitting there on the bench.
But you know what, though? They've done him so dirty. When he has 2 great games in Denver, it's fucking LeBron and AD. The Lakers are doing great. And then the minute D'Lo has a game where he doesn't score a point, it's D'Lo's a fucking problem. LeBron and AD would win with any other third piece. So I just feel like they do him so dirty. Like, I get it. You can't come out and have 0 points as a third piece in that team. But when he's carrying you in game 2, and then you guys blow that lead and give him no help, and nothing is said about it,
yeah.
And they just have done him so dirty. I want him out of LA too. Like everywhere he goes, he becomes a scapegoat.
That whole Lakers team.
For maybe some obvious reasons, but he's a great player, and I feel like they've done him incredibly dirty.
Lakers need to hit the reset, which, I mean, depending on what happens with Bronny, like they're probably
if they draft Bronny.
No, I don't think they will, but I think LeBron goes, wherever Bronny's going to go. So it's like you're going to flip that team around. AD's pissed. Like, they already won their championship, so it's like.
In the bubble?
But.
In the bubble?
Hot take.
In the bubble?
He's not. They're not winning against the defending champion. Even if it was a 7-game series, they're still going to lose.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, if they got put against anyone else, I think they get swept too. Like this team, Darvin Ham has no idea what he's doing. I don't know if you saw the clip of Darvin Ham in the regular season drawing up a play.
Yeah.
He didn't even get it out of time.
Right.
The timeout ended before he drew the play because he erased it 4 times. So Darvin Ham had no idea what he was doing. LeBron and AD, that locker room is completely gone. You can tell by D'Lo sitting on the bench by himself while the huddle's going on, eating a fucking snack, it looked like. So, I mean, that whole team is just completely blown up in GTA. So,
not great.
All right, let's surf some Slate. Great day of news. I feel like we just killed that.
Yeah, we killed that segment. Good job. Little Cardinal shirt.
Welcome back to Slate Surfers. Part of the show where Nick and I are going to surf this slate and talk some games and some bets. My parlay lost by 1 leg last night, Nick. I don't know if you saw it, but it was the Lakers.
You did go, undefeated again. Not undefeated, but 3-0, I guess, so far on the Surge stream. So, greened out,
Yeah, we greened out Gobbed in the Surge stream. People forget.
Quick 2 pieces get the job done.
Dude, the 2-piece bobbers.
Trent's out here putting 6-teamers together, put 5 teams, Fugazis together.
Literally, 2-piece bobbers have gotten it done 3 days in a row. If you have bet every Prize Picks entry we put out on the Surge stream the past 3 days, you're up money because we've hit one every day. All right, here we go. Nick, we got NBA action. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to do. The Bucks-Pacers line moved from -5.5 to -6.5.
Yep.
I want to take the Bucks so bad.
Do it.
I love a bounce back in Indiana.
I always say go with your first gut. Just go with your first gut. Don't overthink it.
I love a bounce back in Indiana.
What's the heart say? What's the head say?
The heart says you might just want to trust Vegas here and know that the Pacers might have just got one in Milwaukee and might be coming home to a ruckus crowd and sun the Bucks one more time.
All right. Could just take the over.
I think I know what I need to do.
Cowboy hat on, Cowboy Friday.
I think I know. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do.
Chris questionable, by the way.
Chris Middleton is questionable. I know what I need to do.
Or maybe out.
All right.
Ruckus crowd in Indianapolis is crazy.
Oh my God. Indiana, whatever it is.
Did someone say the Sugarland Space Cowboys?
They smacked. I kicked them out, and they smacked by 1 run.
He was salty.
I know what I needed to do, and it's the Cowboy hat to surf some Slate. Bucks, Pacers, I agree with Nick. We're taking the over. Bing, bang.
Bango.
I feel like even with a questionable Chris Middleton, the Pacers played no defense. Dame Lillard couldn't guard a fucking traffic cone. Let's take the over in Milwaukee. Pacers. I also think, by the way, if Chris Middleton is questionable, let's just take Damian Lillard points. Okay? Tyrese Halliburton's a bot. He can't guard either way. Damian Lillard points more than on Prize Picks.
Boom.
Clippers, Mavericks. We're in Dallas. It's the Mavericks -4.5. The Clippers are officially dead because guess what? You let Luka get one. And when he gets one, he gets 3 more after that, and he sends you fucking home packing. We talked about it with Josh before he left for Vegas. The Clippers have tried to just assemble great players, and they don't know how to play together. And now you're going into Dallas where I know for a fact We might just be a basketball city, and I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
they're going to be ruckus. They're going to be wild,
be loud.
and it's the Mavs -4.5.
You want to take some of Luka?
And it is 1,000% Luka points more than at home. 1,000% Luka more than points at home. And if you want to get frisky, you go ahead and you take that demon.
What is the demon on?
Nick, I'm going to tell you what
I'm
we
looking
do.
right. I'm looking right now.
Timberwolves.
39.5 on the demon.
Timberwolves Phoenix, Nick. I'm going to tell you what we do. I have now firmly
I feel
dug.
like this story. I know where this is going.
I have now firmly dug my heels into Suns Twitter as a Devin Booker hater. And I think it's a very similar series to the Lakers Nuggets. I think the Suns are just the worst team. And you're giving me 4 points on the road with Anthony Edwards, who doesn't give a fuck where he's playing. Why don't you go ahead and give me the Timberwolves +4.5?
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
And the over. I think the Suns have struggled to score on the road. We bring them back home. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to struggle at all to score in Phoenix. And I'll tell you what, the Suns aren't going to struggle at either. Give me the over in Timberwolves Suns as well. And if you want a Prize Picks entry,
and
I'm going to give you a square that no one sees coming. Devin Booker more than points. Why don't you prove me wrong, kid? Why don't you prove me wrong, kid? Why don't you prove me wrong, kid? Why don't you prove me wrong one more time? Prove me wrong.
You can get that. 26.
Prove me wrong one more time, Devin Booker. Prove me wrong.
Currently a very popular square on
Okay, how
Prize
many people?
Picks. 6.9 thousand.
Yeah, get me off it.
Last
Get me
4 games under 26 points. So
Yeah, get me off that, actually.
Red Goblin
Yeah,
on
get me
there,
off that.
big time.
Get me off that one. Let's go Anthony Edwards points more than. Fuck him. Let's go into enemy territory and get one the hard way, Ant. I like that as well.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, we're moving to the puck. Unless
Let's
you got
go
an
to the
NBA
ice.
play.
No,
We're
I
moving
hate
to the puck.
NBA.
Moving to the puck. Moving to the puck. I'm going to tell you exactly what we do, Nick. I've been to this barn one time in my life, and it's one of the more ruckus barns I've ever been to in my entire life.
Ooh, I
The
know where you're
Predators
going.
at
Yep,
home
yep, I love
against
it.
the Nucks.
Yep.
Give me the Preds. Tommy Novak legacies at home against the Nucks.
Got to take a money line.
Yeah, money line. On the money line.
Puck line's cheeky though, +200, -1.5. Nah,
Nick, there's
money line.
There's 2 more games on the slate.
Yeah,
And I'm going to tell you exactly what you do with them. Jets Avs over.
there's 3.
Kings Oilers over. We're now taking the Rangers game.
Fair.
Jets Avs over. Kings Oilers over. 2 hockey overs. You put them
Yeah.
together. That's what we're doing for the late night in the puck. That's how you get a platter the hard way on a goddamn Friday.
I like
And
that.
I'll tell you what, you want a cheeky little parlay, Nick? Take the over in the Timberwolves, you take the over in the Avs, and you put the Rangers money line in there.
Oh,
That's your 3-piece gob if you want a Friday. All right, Nick, I'm going to take you to the baseball diamond where I need you to give me a
Let's
couple
go.
plays. I need you to give me a couple
right.
plays.
So-
Shout out Miss Q in the red tube.
miscue in the red
We
tube.
got a 12-10. Can you give me a
Yeah.
play in the early game?
Go
the Stars
to
are not going to get a win, by the way.
the Royals and the Tigers. Who's on the bump? Let's go. Help me out, chat.
On
If
Bumsky, you've got Seth Lugo for the Royals
Is it
and
Nerfy?
Reese Olson.
Let's go to chat. Let's see if Nerfy or Yurfy. Drop Yurfy if you want the Yurfy. Drop Nerfy if you want the Nerfy. I kind of think the Nerfy.
I think Yurfy got meat Olson.
Think the Yurfy? I like Nerfy. You like Yurfy? Let's see what chat says.
They got meat Olson.
1 for Yurfy, 1 for Nerfy. Keep dropping them. Spam the chat.
Nick, they
Nerfy.
got meat Olson,
Nerfy.
dude. They got meat Olson.
Lugo's Bonfuego. Nerfy. Tigers Nerfy are Moose. Nerfy. We're going the Nerfy. We're going the Nerfy
right.
in the Royals Tigers.
Early day Nerfy
Early day Nerfy.
for the morning after on the Tigers game. I like it.
Looks
Let's do it.
risky, but cheeky. On one more. We're going to.
Yeah, take me. Take my hand. Where are we going?
You see the shirt, you see the hat. I mean, we got to go with the Cardinals right now. The Cardinals, and I'll tell you why.
Against the Mets?
Against the Mets as an
Not with
underdog
Mustache Man.
with Miles Michaelis on the mound, who has been absolutely dog shit this year. But I tell you what, we're starting to gain a little momentum. Played the best game they've played so far 2 days ago, coming off an off day, rest day, going into New York. Not a tough place to play.
Sent your best prospect down to the minors.
There are no fans. Hey, listen, I could have a hot take on Jordan Walker. I won't give it to you right now. Smart move sending Jordan Walker down to be able to play every day. Miles Michaelis needs a bounce back. He knows he needs a bounce back. Hitters are hitting a little bit. They need to hit better. Cardinals on the money line today. If you want to play it safe, take them +1.5 against New York. But the Cardinals bullpen has looked like nails. If Michaelis can just not give up a home run, we're going to win that game.
And I'll tell you what, Nick. hearing that name again. I don't
Yeah,
know if anyone
yeah,
remembers, but
it's-
there was a time 2 years ago when I started my content journey, and I was down the Jersey
And that's a
Shore.
total homer pick. So
And I was down the Jersey Shore, fiending for content, and there was only baseball on. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shave my beard and do a mustache. I'm going to make a whole video about taking Miles McCollus, going up into Colorado. Michaelis, going up into Colorado. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm betting on the mustache man with a mustache. That game, he got yanked in the third inning because he let up 12 runs.
yeah,
And now you're telling me on a Friday, when I'm feeling good, the vibes are high, a
Yeah.
little gloomy outside, that we're going back to mustache man?
yeah. Back to mustache man. It's not a popular pick,
Nick,
but
I hate it.
I know
Nick,
you
I
hate
hate
it.
it.
I know you hate it. I know you hate
Nick,
it.
I hate it.
I know you hate it.
Can I tell you what I would do on the diamond?
What would you do on the diamond?
Not that I know ball, but I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do on the diamond. I'm going to take the over in Padres Phillies, Moose Grove, and Nola. 2 Turk tossers. I feel as though they are. Give me that over. Although that total's kind of low, actually. It's only at 7.5. I thought it'd be much higher.
All right.
So maybe not that. Maybe not that.
Yeah, we need a total here. We taking the Nerfy. We're taking the Cardinals.
Maybe not that. I really wanted to take that over, but I don't like that over at 7.5.
Braves Guardians. By the way, Braves Guardians totals at 8.5. Braves best team in the NL. Guardians best team in the AL. Could be a fun little matchup. Check Javon's meat sheet. Chat says. Let's go see what Javon is on the meat.
On the meat? That's crazy.
On the meat. Pause.
Sorry, guys. I'm cooking right now. I'm just looking. Just looking.
What has Javon got? All right, 426 meat sheet. Here you go. He likes key splits. Boston Cubs. Boston highest strikeout percentage versus left-handed pitcher so far with the 4th lowest zone contact rate overall. I don't know how to
So the Cubs?
I analyze these.
So the Cubs?
Top home runs targets. Quinn Priester on the Pirates. Logan Allen on the Guardians.
I got my plays.
Miles Michaelis on his home run targets. I like that.
I got my plays.
All right, what do you got?
Dodgers, Blue Jays over 9.5. Phillies money line and the Diamondbacks money line. I don't care that as a company we're fading Zach Gallen. I think he's still got the juice in him, and I think this is where they beat the Mariners. As a Mariners fan, I feel like this is where they get smoked by the Diamondbacks. Those are my plays. I saw someone in chat say, do we have any footy plays? Oh my God, do I have some footy plays for you today? In La Liga, Real Sociedad plays Real Madrid, and I'm going to tell you what. Just close your eyes and click Real Madrid. I don't care who they're playing. I don't care what they're doing right now. Jude Bellingham is fucking unconscious.
Yeah,
Rodrigo is fucking unbelievable. Just take Real Madrid. Just take him.
Like
You
that.
can draw no bet him. Real Madrid against Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad is the favorite. I'm telling you, draw no bet Real Madrid. I don't care who the fuck starts. They're not losing that game. I don't care who starts. They're not losing that game. Okay? I don't care who starts. They're not losing that game. Okay? QPR leads. I'll tell you what you do in QPR leads. You take the over 2.5 in QPR leads in the English Championship. If there's one thing that's going to happen in this game, it's goals. It's goals. Leeds might win 3-0, 4-0. It's goals. You take the over in Leeds QPR over 2.5 in the Leeds game. I just want to check one more thing. I thought there was one competition on that I really wanted to tap today, so I just want to make sure that we are able to tap if we want to.
Quick Nerfy nugget from chat. Lugo and Olsen are combined 9-0 to Nerfy on the year. That's good. Okay. That's a good nugget.
Those are my plays. Real Madrid moneyline draw no bet and the over in QPR leads in the English Championship. That's the division below the Premier League, in case anyone was wondering.
W's, love it.
Nick, that brings us right to 11:30 on the dot.
Hey, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Morning After. As always, we end every episode with a little inspiration, a little motivation. And, watching the NFL draft last night, I think, you see a lot of really young kids whose dreams are made. They hug the parents, they hug the moms, they hug the dads, they go nuts. But I think the most important thing that you notice about the draft is what every team says to their player after they draft them, and they say the work starts now. And I think that's a really important thing to remember in life, that once you get that opportunity, it doesn't mean it's time to let off the gas and time to celebrate and time to unclick the seatbelt and sit back and take that deep breath. Once you get that opportunity that you've been working for your entire world for, now it's time to go to work. The work starts now once you get that opportunity. The opportunity isn't the make or break. The work that you do after you get that opportunity is the make or break. So do me a favor today. If you get that opportunity you've been working for your entire life, the work starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night from The Morning After. As always, We say it every episode. Take one step forward for me today. I know how hard life is. I know how hard work can be, but guess what? You made it to the weekend. So take one more step for me forward today. I'm not asking you to sprint, not asking you to jog. Just take one more step for me today on a Friday. We got BTL coming up next right after this. So you stay right here, same stream. Don't go anywhere. We will see you on Monday. I love you all so much. Let's go have one.